Okay, I'm here at MagicCon Atlanta, hanging out in the Artist Alley. We're going to be on the hunt for signatures this weekend. We've got about like 25 cards to be able to try to get signed. We'll see if we can get them all signed, and we'll kind of walk you guys through what that looks like and how to get the signatures you want, and can you actually get all the signatures you want when you go to one of these MagicCons. So let's go into it and show you what it's about.
Alright, so one of the first things that you should be doing when you are going to hunt down signatures is know exactly where you need to go, how to get there, which artists you want to try to prioritize, because there's certain artists whose lines are really, really long. So being able to prioritize those lines is like step number one. And you can see we're already like hunted down. We go, okay, we know exactly who we want to try to go for, the ones that might get capped really early or really easily. And we go for there first.
Crazy lines. Let's see. Mask, I don't know. Yeah. All right, in the first line, we're hanging out, getting ready for our first set of signatures. You got like 5 or 6 for this one. Of course, all of our swords we're very interested in. Cyclonic Rift, of course. I'm a fool and didn't bring my Blightsteel Colossus, but you know, it is what it is. But this was impossible to get in Vegas, so we're very happy that we kind of sprinted here to start out MagicCon Atlanta on our hunt for signatures here. There's a bunch we want to try to get, so this is our first stop. We're excited to see how it works out.
In Vegas, but it was like impossible there. So I was so glad that I was able to come and get early.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to get it early too.
Balloon for this one, please.
My legal signature is.
Yeah, it's probably going to be just as busy here as things get rolling.
I still remember when we signed for the
art's so
mortgage,
good,
they
so
did
it
that
makes
thing where they
sense.
made the
It's
note.
strong.
Hey,
I know. I remember seeing like a Reddit post from a guy who, for his signature, used like 3 little cartoon Batmans, and they're like.
And then the last two, I'll let you pick whatever colors you want.
Green on this guy, just because he's green.
Perfect.
Probably too dark blue on this one.
But you know, I think it would be kind of worse because people wouldn't expect it to be that.
Right, I agree.
These colored ones are easy to spot when they're dry because they go from glossy to matte. So like this one's dry, but it'll take a couple minutes.
The other ones? Okay.
The only one that might take a little longer is the gold.
Just set that over here for now.
The colored ones, you're basically just waiting for the water to dry out.
Oh, okay, cool.
Once it doesn't look wet, you're good.
Then it's good to go. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's do a walkthrough of what the Artist Alley looks like. We sped up the clip just slightly because it is a lot of walking. There was so many artists at the actual event. Now, there are a lot of resources going into it that you guys should be able to check out to see who all the artists is. Of course, the website itself for MagicCon. Moxfield's another great one. I love to be able to sit there and post up and say, here are all of my cards that I want to make sure I get signed. So I will be able to grab all of that. But really, it's what artists do you want to prioritize? You know, how much do you want to spend on things? There is, of course, all the amazing just like prints and arts and stuff like, you know, definitely ones that stand out that you're like, oh, this would be awesome to hang up or hang on the wall, or I need a new playmat for stuff, you know, for any Baldur's Gate fan. The Asterion is here. I was particularly fond of the like foiling on that. Like, oh, look at that. It's so good. So good. So yeah, so many like good stuff. All you can hear, my voice is already starting to go with our voiceover stuff, but we've got a couple other clips to kind of show you, but we're on the hunt for more signatures. So let's see how many more we can get in this episode.
So you already were established. You get the art for SpongeBob. What happened? Like, what did they say? Hey, I need you to draw SpongeBob. Or how did that work?
That's pretty much it.
He was like, hey, I need you to draw SpongeBob too.
No, so he, my art director that I worked with on, so we did the Ghostbusters one,
Yeah.
and then he said, hey, do you want to do another animated project? And I was like, yeah, for sure. He goes, cool, it's SpongeBob. And I was like, oh, I thought it was gonna be like another like action adventure
You always
thing.
wanted to say no.
So yeah, I said no. I was like, I don't think that really I'm the right guy for this. And he goes, and then he told me about the counterspell, and I was like,
Never mind.
you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah. Dude,
Basic, but I'll let you pick whatever color you want to do.
Okay.
You a legacy insect enjoyer?
Yes, I am.
Same thing.
See?
Do the darker green.
Excellent.
And there goes your non-brushwag enhancing cards.
Thank you.
All right, so we're in the middle of Artist Alley. We've been doing our signature hunting so far. We've gotten quite a few cards. We'll show you guys what we've gotten so far. We've gone to 2 different artist booths to be able to get stuff. There's still probably like 4 or 5 different artists that we want to be able to get, but just want to kind of break down a little bit of what you can expect when you're at an artist booth. So one thing, there is usually a baseline level for artist signatures, and that is usually around $5 for just the basic. You can get in black or in the color of your choice. If you want to be able to get shadow signatures, that's usually about $10. But some artists have like special signature stuff where they can kind of do like, you know, different specific colors onto it, even doing like kind of metallic like rainbow foils and all kinds of crazy stuff. And those of course go up and up and up in price. Some artists of course are being able to sell different art prints or play mats or things like that, and you don't have to wait in the lines usually to be able to get those. You can kind of go up and say, hey, I just want to buy this play mat, I just want to buy this print. Usually they have deals. Sometimes there's tokens that you guys could be able to get as well, depending on the artist. But most of the artists have that baseline level, so just kind of keep that in mind when you're going through it. So we're going to see how many more signatures that we can get here for this weekend, and if we can get our kind of big haul that we're trying to hit for, which I think was like 20 some that we wanted to get by the end of the weekend. There's some like definitely ones that are like high priorities that we're trying to hit. Of course, for like our Garth deck, for our Legacy Infect deck. There's a bunch of modern staple cards that we would love to get, but those are lower on the priority list that we want to be able to get. Of course, we were able to get some of the swords signed, which we were not able to get in Vegas, so that was already an immediate win for the weekend. So let's see how well we can do about finding any more signatures.
All right, the signature hunting is going well. Of course, I wasn't the only one that was trying to get signatures. My buddy Ruben that came to the event with me, who helped with filming and stuff like that, was also there hunting down signatures for a lot of his decks. So we, of course, were running around doing a bunch of stuff. Also, I wanted to showcase some of this, like, other footage of other people getting their signatures, like this sweet rainbow signature and stuff like that players were getting, like a lot of players found some really cool ways to kind of spice up their decks and their cards. Plus, so many different play mats and other goodies that were available. Like, if you have not seen the Artist Alley, you need to go and check it out just to be able to, you know, look at the cool stuff. I mean, look at this card here. Like, you could get a black light style of card. Now, it looks completely normal under regular light, and then with a black light, it shows up. So, like, you can do some really crazy cool stuff that some of the artists are doing at the event here for day one. But we've got a few more signatures that we're going to try to grab for day one before we wrap it up. And we weren't able to get all of our signatures, so we will be jumping into our part 2 or day 2 that's going to continue along with this video shortly. But take a look at some of our last couple signatures we got. All right, starting day 2 in Dan Frazier's line. Now, if we thought the Chris Rahn's line was a long one, Dan Frazier's one was also extremely long, to the point of it was a 2-hour long wait here. But like you can see, like we're going to show you a clip of him altering one of the talismans here, like just like, and adding it to the signature and connecting it up. Like, some of the stuff that some of these artists are doing is just so good and so unique, like really making your card a one of one here.
You think I've screwed up now, just wait. Here we go.
Looks pretty sick to me.
Here is the sleeve. Thank you so much. What we got? 2 regulars. Well, you
Now, most people were getting moxins, talismans, and all kinds of crazy cool stuff set up. Mine are, of course, like the Dan Frazier ones that I have are in my cube, and because I got players that don't play as often, I try to keep signatures out of the cube, just so like everybody knows exactly what's going on and there are no issues. So of course I had to go and get some spice added for my Legacy Infect, and we decided to try to do like a shadowy blue-green with our shadow style signature, because it's Simic Infect, right? Especially for Legacy there. So we could see him kind of working through and doing the styling here, adding the kind of green flare shadowness and having almost like dripping off of each of the letters there. So very cool. It turned out really awesome. Can't wait to show you guys at the end of this video. You can see kind of our signature collection that we've gathered up over the course of basically playing Magic, but also from the event itself and what that looks like. So you of course can jump ahead if you want to see that, but you know, stay tuned, see what other cool stuff that we have related to this video to show y'all.
All right, it is day 2 of MagicCon Atlanta here. We've got our update for you, and as you can see, we're still in the Artist Alley, because I think that's an important thing to note if you're going to one of these events, is that MagicCon is all about getting signatures and meeting artists, and you're gonna have to wait in line for a long time for certain artists. Doors opened at 10, so the doors opened at 10 and we got in. It is 12:48 right now. and we went right over to Dan Frazier's booth. We had 4 cards that we wanted to get signed. Of course, he does all of the great signets and the moxes and things like that. So it is one of those, like, a lot of people are in line to get certain cards signed. We were going and getting our 4 Invigorate signed for our Legacy Infect deck. So that was one thing we really wanted to make sure we got. And you see it's like 12:40. I think we got finished at 12:45. So 2 hours and 30 minutes, give or take, more or less, were how long we were waiting in line for. So it was, you know, that is one of the challenges of going to these types of things, is there's going to be artists that will have to take a long time to get signatures. It's just kind of the name of the game. That's how it works. So if you see those signatures that you really want to get, go there right away. Get in line. Some of the lines are capped. You might have to get a time to come back for, but it is one thing to kind of note when you are going to Artist Alley and trying to get signatures done. But let's keep hunting some signatures and let you know how that goes.
Okay, so you can hear my voice is a little bit, we're losing it still. This is the post-con adventures. Let's do the wrap up, the final bit. Let's show you guys all the goodies that we've got and answer the question, did we get all the signatures we wanted? So let's show off, starting off with our Garth One-Eye deck that we've got. We were able to get our Rune, our Curious Follower signed up. We just did the basic black signature for those ones. Then I decided to get a couple of shadows with our Orcish Bowmaster and Rising of the Day from a different artist here. Very happy with how those turned out. And then of course our Chris Ron's Cyclonic Riff. So 5 cards for our Garth One-Eye deck. Very happy with how that worked out. Then we, of course, continue with our Chris Rahn stuff. Felix 5 boots, and we've got the swords going for different color signatures for each of the swords, more or less. I say more or less. And then, of course, Sword of Dungeons and Dragons. So 6 more cards, additions for that. Fun little addition to our signature pool. A couple of singleton stuff to highlight here. We got our Ishin, because I still want to make our Samurai deck work. I keep taking it apart and adjusting it and trying it, and it's like, I'm gonna make it work one of these days. One of these days we're gonna find a way to make the Samurai work, because they are the best. So we got Ishin. Then when we are thinking about our Infect stuff, the ones we waited very long in line for, our Shadow Signatures Invigorates here. So we've got those added into the mix. Continuing along with our Legacy Infect, we've got Embiggen. Look at that sweet, almost like this tealish, bluish, dark greenish color here for Embiggen. And then our double Berserk Shadow Signatures here as well. So let's go and take a look at the final count from the weekend here. What are we at? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Was that everything we wanted? Not quite. So here's what we missed out on. We wanted to get Atraxa signed, didn't end up getting Atraxa signed. That's okay. We have this sweet inner sleeve that I like to use for the Phyrexianized version. So that kind of helps fit that bit for a little bit. And then also Watery Graves. We talked about like modern cards that I was like, oh, here's some staples that would be nice to get signed that we weren't able to get signed, but that would have been nice to have done so. But that's kind of our wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Of course, if you have questions about the signature process, what that looks like at a MagicCon, leave a comment, let us know. We will be sure to answer some of those questions, but make sure to have a budget going into it. That's kind of the number one thing. I always have a pile of cash that is just dedicated just to signatures. And I kind of go, all right, I really want to get this shadow signature from this artist. So that basically cuts into the cost of a regular signature, right? Most of the time it's like 2 for 1. Right? 2 regular signatures equals out to 1 shadow signature. And then you can go up from there if you're going to be adding in some crazy stuff. We didn't go for any crazy signatures, no rainbow signatures, nothing like that for the time being. We're happy with just sort of having artist signatures. And that is something that we have been collecting for a long time. Like if you guys have seen our videos, of course we have videos with our Infect deck, but like here's some of our signatures that we've collected over the years that we still have. We got a lot of these in Vegas. But like, you know, we're a collector, especially when it comes to to infect. That's our go-to deck. So we're on the hunt for signatures. That's our thing. No artist proof yet, but that is something that a lot of players get when they go to these conventions. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, a little bit different than what we've done. We still have more MagicCon content coming up for you to be able to enjoy what it's like to be a content creator at one of these events, as a little bit behind the scenes vlog stuff going on in that video. So stay tuned for that, as well as more modern action every Monday and Thursday for you to enjoy for our weekly coverage that we do. But thanks so much for tuning and watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next game.